Hey mind bangers, Yellowjackets has got me hooked, and here are me jonesing for some fresh lost girl gang theories. Yellowjackets. Is Coach Ben about to crash the present-day timeline like a freaking wrecking ball? Alright, Yellowjackets truthers, let's get into it. The wilderness isn't done with us, and neither is Coach Ben Scott, the one-legged vegetarian who somehow managed to survive longer than people who were actively eating other people. But here's the thing. While we've seen adult versions of Shauna, Misty, Taysa, Van, Lottie, and Natalie, right P, Coach Ben is still missing from the present-day timeline. And this show doesn't just forget about people, which means one of two things. One, Ben died off-screen, which Yellowjackets would never do because they live for trauma-porn death scenes. Two, Ben survived. And if he did survive, that means he's out there with 25 years of horrible, juicy secrets, just waiting to wreck everyone's lives like an unholy combination of a subpoena and a bear attack. Did Coach Ben burn down the cabin? Let's talk about that fire. You remember, the one that forced everyone out into the freezing hellscape to fully commit to feral murder cult life. The show never tells us who set the cabin on fire, which means it wasn't an accident, and who had the most motivation to torch that place to the ground. Ben. By that point, he was completely isolated from the team, disgusted by their newfound taste for human meat, relatable, and had already bailed to his secret cave. He knew if he stayed, he'd end up as Misty's next special meal, and after witnessing Shauna gleefully eat her ex-boyfriend's face, he probably figured that even death by hypothermia was preferable. So what does he do? Burn it all down. If the team had no shelter, maybe they'd scatter or rethink the whole dinner party where the main course is someone's leg thing. He was already sleeping in a cave, so he wasn't as reliant on the cabin as the others. He was already dead to them emotionally, so what did he have to lose? If Ben did start the fire, that means he's the reason the final survivors had to go full-blown animal mode to survive. And if he's alive in the present day, that means he knows every horrifying thing they did after that moment. So, where has Ben been for 25 years? If Ben survived, he's been off the grid for decades. But why would he stay quiet when he knows that some of his former students are now running free in society, possibly still capable of murder? A few possibilities. He's in hiding. Maybe he knows too much, and the surviving Yellowjackets made it very clear that if he ever went public, he'd end up as the next special ingredient in Misty's tea. He was institutionalized. Imagine surviving the worst year of your life, only to come back and be like, so yeah, my entire soccer team turned into Lord of the Flies and I burned our house down. Nobody's letting you just go back to teaching gym class after that. He's got his own creepy cult. Look, if Lottie can start a trauma-bonded nature commune, why couldn't Ben start his own rival group of ex-survivors? Maybe he found others in the woods. Maybe he's got his own twisted agenda. But if Ben does reappear, it won't just be for a casual cup of coffee with Shauna and the gang. It's going to be a catastrophe. What secrets is he keeping? If Ben shows up in 2026, he's bringing answers we're probably not ready for. What actually happened in the final days of the wilderness? Did they find another survivor? What if there's a secret Yellowjacket we don't even know about? Who the hell is Pit Girl? Speaking of Pit Girl, will we finally learn who Pit Girl is? Remember back in episode 1 when a girl ran through the woods like she was in a Black Friday stampede, fell into a spiked pit, and was promptly served as a meal? We still don't know who she is. Some theories. Mari? She's been having weird visions and questioning Lottie, which means she could easily piss off the wrong people and end up getting sacrificed. Jen or Melissa. Because someone has to be expendable, and the show has been keeping them just relevant enough to make us care a little before they die. A new character? Imagine if Season 3 introduces us to someone right before they get eaten. Classic Yellowjackets move. One way or another, Pit Girl's identity is tied to the unraveling of the wilderness timeline. And if Ben is still alive, he knows the truth. Callie's about to go full psycho, isn't she? While we're on the subject of people about to snap, let's talk about Callie. Shauna's daughter has been getting way too comfortable with the whole murder and secrets thing, and fans are starting to think she might be the next killer in the family, Specifically, she might kill her own dad, Jeff. Jeff has been obsessed with fixing the family's karma, which, in Yellowjackets language, means someone has to die. Callie has been slowly unraveling, and if Jeff tries to cover something up or betray her, she might snap. Plus, this show loves parent-child murder drama, so why stop at just Shauna's past? If Callie does kill Jeff, it would be a game-changer for the present-day timeline. And if Ben is alive, he might be the only person who can explain why this whole family is cursed with murder energy. Final thoughts. Ben's return will be a freaking disaster. At this point, Coach Ben is the biggest missing piece of the puzzle. If he's alive, he knows too much, and his return would blow up everything the survivors have spent decades trying to bury. If he tells the truth, mass hysteria. If he turns against the team, a full-blown war. If he's got his own twisted agenda, God help us all. Either way, his return will change everything. And honestly, I cannot wait to see just how much damage he does when he finally reappears. That's all I got. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, because we are all in this together. And I always wanted to be stranded somewhere other than the mall.